Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if it's the first time that you're watching one of my videos. Today I'm going to be focusing on one little verb, but a very useful and super important verb that everybody must know and use correctly. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the verb sapere. This might seem like a little tiny easy, straightforward verb, but unfortunately it isn't, because this little verb can be misleading. Sapere, if you just look it up in a dictionary, it translates to the verb to know. You're like, okay, that's easy. Yeah, but in Italian, you also have another verb that has the same exact translation, which is the verb conoscere. So do not worry, in this video I will explain the verb sapere, I will tell you when you have to use that, and I will also compare it to conoscere, okay? Don't worry, if you're having a hard time following along, you can download this entire lesson in PDF format by clicking on the link that you find below this video, okay? So let's go immediately to the first section of this video and let's learn together what sapere really means and how we can use it. Okay, so the verb sapere best translates to the idea of being aware of something, and you can be aware of an event, an information, a fact. You can be aware of the time, okay? And you can also see that this verb is very often paired together with little words like che, dove, quando, se, perché. Let's look at some examples so that you can also read them with me and you can focus on these, and you will see that there are expressions that are quite commonly used. So the verb sapere plus one of those words that I just mentioned. Sai che mia mamma si chiama Rita? So in this sentence, in this question, I'm asking, do you know that my mom's name is Rita? Wonderful. I can translate it in English with to know, but the true Italian meaning is, are you aware of the fact that my mom's name is Rita? Let's look at another one. Sai che ho due gatti? Once again, I'm asking you, are you aware of the fact that I have two cats? Obviously, you can translate it into to know, but go a little bit deeper. Understand that in Italian, the true meaning is, are you aware that I have two cats? Now, a very common question that you probably already use yourself is, sai che ore sono? Are you aware of what time it is? So do you know what time it is? This is something very common. I'm sure you have either already used it or already learned it or heard it in one of your lessons or maybe traveling around Italy. You can also say, sai quando arriva il treno? So are you aware of when the train will arrive? Or you can say, sai perché Maria è arrabbiata? Are you aware of why Maria is upset? Or another sentence could be, sai dov'è la farmacia? Do you know, are you aware of where physically the pharmacy is? So you're probably asking yourself, Julia, if I can just translate it to the verb to know, why do I have to focus on this to be aware of something? I mean, it's silly, right? And it does sound silly, but the problem is that if you're comparing sapere to conoscere, you need to understand the two different shades of meaning of these two verbs, okay? These two verbs that you could translate both to the verb to know actually are verbs that in Italian cannot be interchanged because their meaning is quite different, okay? So remember, sapere to be aware of something, a fact, an information, an event. Let's now look at conoscere. Conoscere means to be acquainted with someone or something. And this could be a specific topic, it could be a place, it could be a person, it could be a thing. So you have to remember that conoscere is going to be used with places, people, and things. And it means having good knowledge. Okay, so it's a little bit deeper than just simply to know. So it's having good knowledge of that person, that thing, or that place. Usually because you have already had an experience with that. So you have knowledge, you deeply know it because you have already either experienced it or have already gotten in touch with that thing or person. Another super important thing is that conoscere will always be followed by a noun, which is not the case with sapere. Sapere very often is followed by a verb. The verb conoscere will be followed by a noun, not a verb. Let's look at some examples. Conosco la musica rock molto bene. I know rock music very well, meaning I have a deep knowledge of it. As you can see, you have the verb conoscere and then you have a noun. Conosco la musica rock. Conosci la signora Bianchi? This means, do you know Mrs. Bianchi? Once again, you're going a little bit deeper. Have you met her? Do you know her physically? Okay? And let's look at another example. Conosci Milano? Do you know Milan? Meaning, have you been to Milan? Do you know where it is? Have you traveled around it? Okay, you're giving an extra deeper knowledge of a city. So in this case, you're using conoscere with a noun and you're talking about a place. Okay, so let's compare the two and let's see what this difference is really all about. You are going to use sapere when you're aware of something, and you're going to use conoscere when you have a deeper knowledge of a thing, a place, or a person. You're going to use conoscere when you want to express that you have met a person, when you have visited a place, when you know a lot about something. You're going to use sapere when it says something more general, that you know the time, you know how to do something, you have an ability to do something. Okay? So, I know that these two can be confusing, but don't worry, you will master them in no time. If you need to review this lesson, just make sure you download the free PDF that you find in the link below, or you can rewatch this video, or if you have any questions or doubts, you can just write a comment under the video or get in touch with me at julia@italianlanguagehub.com. This is it for today. I'll see you next week. Un bacio. Ciao.